Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Hello, all you paranormal freaks. It's the last Saturday of the month, and you know what that means. The veil is at its thinnest. So if you're brave enough, all of you hitchers and drifters, load up for a ride with Golden J and Logan as they traverse to the other side.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden J, hanging out with...
Oh, yeah, that's me. Future ghost and co-host, just Logan. I spaced out there for a second, man. I was just, for a brief second, I was like, what podcast am I doing?
Yeah. I mean, I do believe the last recording session of the Golden 80s, after we did the 100th, I think I actually tried to start off with hello, all my normal freaks,
Yeah.
and I looked at Frankie and went, yeah, where are we at? What are we doing? I'm a little lost right
it's because like I haven't been doing intros in forever, and now I do the intro on the tug,
now. Right.
and so it's just for a second there I was like, where am I?
Well, next week's episode of the tug coming out has a whole bunch of you fucking up the intro.
Yeah, he told me. He was like, he okayed it with me first. He was like, would it be okay if I leave these in? I was like, I appreciate you asking. And I was like, Matt absolutely never asked. And I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. I was like, anybody that's listening to this probably knows my past works and that I can fuck up an intro all day long.
Well, he sent it to me, and I was like, I listened to it, and I just paused it, and I picked up my phone, and I texted him, I go, did you mean to leave it in there, or did you just forget to take it back out? And he's like, no, I meant to leave it in there. And I go, okay, it's fine. And he's like, let me get a hold of Logan and make sure that it's okay with him.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So
And it's part of the business. And the worst part is with the tug, is right in front of me, like written down.
Uh-huh.
And I still fucked it up. I still managed to whiff it.
Well, it happens. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. It'll be all right. It's worse things.
Yeah, I mean, you're what? That is the 3rd episode in, and by the time you hit about 20 or so, you'll have it down pat.
That's what you think, but I guarantee you I'll still be fucking it up. And my fucking outro fucking changes every fucking time with the tug. I don't know what to fucking do. It's just like this. Every time I do an outro, it's a little bit different because I fucking never nail it down.
It's the way it should be. I mean, my problem is that I get to the end and I'm like, oh shit, we're at the end of the episode and I need to do just a quick out. And what do I say again? Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah. Luckily for me, I do all the editing. So
yeah, at the end of every tug, it's some kind of masturbation joke. Like, okay, it is what with a name like that, it just happens.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on. We all know what that's all about. It's all about the tugging away at your love of the 90s.
Yeah, I said something. I can't remember what. I think in episode 1, I didn't even remember saying it until I re-listened to it, and I said Tuggle Vision. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we might have a few of those along the way. You're like, why did I say that?
Yeah, no, there's a bunch. I know one of the intros for one of the new episodes, like fucking referred to the viewer as Tuggalos and Tuggalettes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude,
it doesn't get any better, folks.
You like the part of the insane clown posse there.
Yeah.
Tuggalos.
Yeah, Tuggalos. I'm gonna have the fucking ICP fucking suing me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you just go to leave your house one day and there's just Fago parked in front of your door,
God,
like all
no,
stacked up.
not Fago.
You'd be like, "Oh God,
They're
they found
here.
me."
We used to have a Fago machine in town. And like
Oh.
sure as shit, like at least twice a week you would see a car parked near it with the fucking hatchet man on the back and be like, you motherfuckers, just leaning into it.
Leaning hard.
Yeah.
I never understood that though. I mean, they would launch cans of Fago into the crowd.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I know.
Dangerous. But I mean, their demographic loves it. It's like, oh man, I got fucking rocked by a fucking Fago can. I don't know any of their fucking names.
Oh yeah, I don't either. I don't know anything much about
He threw
him.
it himself, and it fucking hit me. I was like, "That's great! You got a concussion from a great Fago." Like,
yeah, his luck it was a strawberry one. You know, it was sucky. I don't know, man. My buddy Billy, I think, was a big ICP fan, so I think he actually went to a couple of their shows.
I know all of like 3 ICP songs. One that I actually like, and then one I listen to because it's fucking hilarious. Because one of the lines, SNL made fun of him for this song at one point, but it was one of the lines in the song is legitimately, and it was like they tried to do like a more meaningful song, which was right out of their wheelhouse. Like fuck it, they should have never tried that. But one of the lines was like they're talking about miracles.
Okay.
And one of the lines is magnets. How do those work? And you're like. And I mean, they're dressed in white in this music video, and they're literally trying. They're trying to like, we can do serious stuff too. And I'm like, motherfucker, and that's the line you went with.
But
SNL did a skit on it, and it was fucking hilarious. I'm gonna have judges coming for me now.
Yeah. I won't tell them where you're at.
That's fine. Write Frankie at the Golden
Image 80s
at gmail.com. I'm learning it. I gotta learn it.
I keep going to try to change it, and I just been like, we've used it now for 100 episodes. I mean, why change it? I mean,
yeah, no, I just gotta remember it. It's just the part that throws me off is the golden image. Like I gotta remember the golden image is in there, and then 80s.
Yeah, I know that when he originally put it together, he was having a hell of a time just getting golden 80s or something like that. So I don't know, but you know, that's Frankie. I have a place Frankie
to send all the pissed off people because we definitely might have pissed off a few people by now at the time.
Well, you did call out J-Dub in that episode. It's short and mean.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not wrong though.
I don't know what you're talking about. She's not short and mean. She's short and sweet.
Okay. If you want to lie, that's fine. She knows she's mean. She knows she's mean.
Oh, where would we be without J-Dub these days? Hey, speaking of, over 2 million views on her documentary on YouTube. How about that?
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. We were hoping for just them beating Austin's other top one, which I think at that point was like 750,000. That's what me and her were aiming at, and we would talk about every day. It was like, oh, it's out, and I mean, it rocketed out of the fucking gate.
Yeah, no, right off the bat, it was fucking hitting really solid fucking numbers, which is great because, like, I mean, I imagine by how long her episode of A Haunting has been out, I imagine tons of people have seen it.
Right.
And it's good to know that a shit ton of people are seeing like the truth about the episode. So she's actually getting a speaker piece and everything. So that's good. And it's getting good traction. So part of it makes you wonder is like, are people out there like Googling her name from that episode? Because you got to figure something's bringing them specifically to that episode because he has other episodes.
Right. I don't know. I don't know what he did or what algorithm or I just don't know. I don't know how it worked out, but I mean,
well, because he used the name that they used for the show, right, in the header, so people could search it. I can't remember.
Well, the A Haunting episode was called Eternal Grief.
Okay.
And then his episode on there was A Haunting of Jennifer Williams,
but Jennifer Williams was the name they used in the show, right?
No, they used Patterson because mainly when she was in that house, it was still her maiden name.
Okay. Yeah,
Maiden
so
name?
I wonder, man. It's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
wow.
I don't know. I don't know what caused it to rocket up, but I'm just grateful for all of those people that watched that and then come over to the show and started, listening to the podcast. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been great. Our numbers are really good, better than they've been over the last year, and we're excited to bring all those people over.
Yeah, no, it's dope. And it was like I said, it was a fantastic episode. I like the dude's style. He nails that vibe of those older shows that they've kind of gotten away with
Right.
after the birth of stuff like anything that Zach Bagans touches or all that. Like the vibes kind of change, but like I grew up in the era of stuff like A Haunting or Unsolved Mysteries and stuff like that, where it's not about the person hosting. It's just about telling a story with a voiceover over it, and that takes me back, and I enjoy that kind of content. I don't need like I said, with Bagans in general, it's just like he's right front and center. Even in the shows he's not in, like the show that he's got where he's sending his crew around to do everything, he's got to make sure he's in the Skype call to be like, it's almost like Charlie's Angels, but with Zach Bagans. He's like, I'm sending you guys to this place, but this is a residential house with normal people, and I'm not going to be there for that.
Right.
He strikes me these days as a guy that like fucking like compulsively fucking Germexes the fuck out of his hands after fucking talking to somebody. I fucking made this thing all blurry. He just gives off that vibe. Right.
Yeah, there's just something about that guy. I don't know. I for me, it's the way he investigates. I mean, it's just I don't want to see. Is Logan trying to fix his camera?
Yeah,
I don't want to see him hollering and screaming at entities. It just is not my deal. But
the fucking poor Aaron had his fucking wife try to fucking assassinate him. You see that she pleaded guilty on that, right?
No, I didn't read any more on it.
Yeah. She recently pleaded guilty. She's like, yeah, I fucking tried to have the doofus killed.
Did she give a reason?
I don't know if they gave a reason, but it kind of seems pretty transparent. It kind of seems like she married him because of who he was.
Right.
And I don't think she was prepared. Because he is like legitimately, seemingly the nicest person on that fucking thing. He's just a goofy fuck.
Right.
I've bought Pokemon cards from him on eBay. That's what he does as his side hustle. Like, I'm not kidding. That's like his side hustle is he opens Pokemon cards and sells them online. And I think she was like, I want the money, but I don't want the goofy fuck. Right. And she watched some show about this fucking hitman guy that got locked away, then fucking found a way to get a hold of the motherfucker and be like, hey, kill my goofy fucking husband. Out of all the things, like if they would have said like somebody tried to hire someone to assassinate Zach Bagans, I would have been like,
okay.
But then it's like Aaron's wife tried to have him fucking whacked, and you're just like, holy what? Why?
Man, people do strange things for money. That's all I can say.
Fucking insane, man, insane. And they found he got that news delivered to him on set while recording.
Oh, really?
Cops rolled up to a place where they were recording and was like, we need to talk to you. And he was like, oh God, did something happen to my wife? And they're like, kind of. It's good to see that you're concerned. Unfortunately, she is concerned about you too in a whole other way.
In a whole different aspect. I don't know, man. That was one of those things that was kind of bigger in the 80s where you would go out and hire a hitman to
it was less trackable in the 80s. It was more viable. What the fuck do you think's going to happen here? Like, She wasn't even using a burner phone or anything. She was just using her own phone to message a phone that somehow she snuck into this dude in prison. So she's just texting him like, what are you doing today? When are you going to kill my husband? And they fucking found the phone in his cell. And they were like, this bitch. And then they found out who the bitch was and like, oh shit, this is juicy. Let's call TMZ. Fucking.
So I guess I wonder if he's locked up. What did she think he was going to do? He had somebody on the outside.
He has contacts. Like apparently he's still like doing that.
No kidding.
Yeah, where people just get a hold of him, and he was like, "Yeah, I got somebody that can whack him," and it's just fucking wild, man. That's not something you ever. And like this, and Aaron was posting about this chick on Instagram all the time. Like, here's me and my wife,
Right.
and then they just fucking was like, yeah, she was trying to kill you, bud. Like,
But she was smoking though, wasn't she? I mean, she was a good-looking woman, right?
It kind of like the writing was on the wall. They were like, there's this humble-looking fuck.
Right.
and then he was like, I don't know why she would try to kill me. I'm like, probably the same reason she fucking married you, dog.
Right.
Fucking.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. That's why he probably was so like, here's my wife. I'm on Instagram. Here's my wife.
He's like, I love her so much.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's just like, I wish you'd get hit by a bus.
How can I push you onto railroad tracks?
Yeah. How can you leave and I still get money?
Yeah, exactly.
And then like a week later, TMZ's like, oh, blah blah blah, is filing for divorce, and you're like, no shit.
Yeah.
And he's going to get everything he wants because you go to court. I want a divorce. And they're like, why? I'm like, well, she's in prison right now because she tried to have me fucking murdered. So I would like for her to get nothing. And they'd be like, oh, fucking why not?
All right. Yep.
Fucking
Yeah.
sold.
We can make that happen.
I'm just waiting for the episode where Zach tries to spin it off. Like, maybe she was possessed by a demon.
Ooh, we should go to the jail.
Yeah, let's fucking hit her with the EVP.
We'll throw some holy water on her and see
Aaron's
what
gonna be
happens.
like, guys, I really don't want to do this one.
Yeah.
Like, this is pretty bad.
Yeah, you don't mind if I just hold back on this one,
Mhm.
right? I'll be in the van. I don't want to go in there.
Poor
She's
Aaron's
liable
gonna
to try
go-
to stab my eyeballs
Yeah,
out.
you're gonna get shivved the moment he walks in there.
Oh, we make fun, but man, serious. It's
Yeah,
serious.
yeah. I hope he bounce backs. Maybe next time, don't aim for a 12, bud. Maybe go for like a soft
7.
6
Yeah.
or like a hard 5. Like aim in your wheelhouse and like
Yeah, just go ahead and get yourself one that actually wants to be with you.
yeah, it doesn't care about your money. Go find you a Pokemon dork that wants to open Pokemon bags with you. They're less likely to fucking murder you.
They're out there.
Maybe.
You never know. You never know. Hey, we're on the countdown to the wedding. Are you getting excited?
We still working on a bunch of stuff. We just did engagement photos last Saturday, and my photographer is a nice lady, but she was unaware that the day she scheduled us for was also a prom, and she took us to a park, and there was so many bedazzled teenagers out there taking pictures. While I was taking engagement pictures, I mean everywhere, and like sequence must be in because the dudes and the girls
Really?
all look like fucking disco balls in the Texas sun. Like, holy shit. It was wild.
But did you guys get some good stuff then?
I mean, few things she showed us while we were there looked great. But I mean,
Nice.
these people have these cameras that their quality just fucking blows you out of the fucking water.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But she also whipped out a drone at one point. And that was kind of terrifying because, like, you're supposed to be looking at, like, this way, but there's a drone very clearly hovering above you. And I don't know if you've been near a drone, but as they descend, they make a noise where you know they're moving downward. And the whole time you're like, you're not supposed to look up at it, but you hear it, like, getting closer, and you're like,
yeah. Is this going to hurt?
yeah, and we're on a bridge above a marsh, so that whole time I'm also worried that her drone is going to fall out of the fucking sky in the marsh where we have postings for, like, don't feed the alligators everywhere, and I'm like, if it goes in, girl, it's gone. I ain't going for it. Like, you're nice, but you ain't fucking get a limb chewed off by an alligator nice. It's
Right. Well, it sounds to me like it was a good time.
It was a time. We still need to hit up the DJ with like our music once and everything.
Right.
Get that done. As soon as those pictures comes in, we get to send out the actual invitations. Well, after we make the invitations, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
And it's getting closer and closer. That's always
it is. Yeah, that's the scary part. Is like I've got time, and then I was like, it's May and it's in September, and you're like, that's not all. It's gonna go by quick.
It's going to go by very, very quick. As a matter of fact, I've already got my vacation time already slated. We're driving down on Wednesday night prior to, and then just staying the almost the entire week after. So
yeah. A big part of it is getting those invitations out, so we kind of get an actual idea of who is going to show up.
Right.
Because getting those out, getting fucking people's addresses is a fucking nightmare. Let me tell you that much.
Yes.
I guess I'm just gonna have to sit down and reach out to each person individually and be like, please.
Yeah. I'd love to invite you to my wedding, but I'd love to have your address so I can send you an invitation.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is at this point. So
yeah, at that point, then you can look into getting tables, chairs, how much food you need to get, and all that shit. But one step at a time. One step at a time.
It's baby steps. Steps.
But you start breaking it down and okay, it's in September. I've got this many paychecks until that comes, and you're that's close.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's never. It honestly is never enough. No matter how far you plan out, I mean, it's just never enough because you're always it's always gonna be something that's gonna come up along the way, and you're like, oh, I forgot about this or this and the other. And of course, you, me, and Kayla need to sit down and talk about your actual ceremony and what you guys want and all that stuff. So we'll have to do that here in the next month or two, and so I can get it all written up and worked out. So,
add it to the list.
I know.
Oh,
well, I'm trying not to pressure you, but we're gonna have to sit down and talk about it.
It all needs to be done. It all needs to be done. And we've got a lot of people that are just going to be we got people from Pennsylvania flying in, people driving from fucking Florida, flying from California, so people are going to have to be getting hotels and this and that. It's just holy shit.
I'm hoping my bed is the same bed that I got to stay in last time I was there.
Yeah, family gets beds. So everybody else is going to be and everybody's well, what's the nearest hotel from your parents' house? I'm you guys are really underestimating what kind of fucking back road. Just to get off their back road is a good bit. So
oh yeah, the gas station that's about a mile away is is one of the most interesting gas stations you can ever go to.
Yeah, that is for sure. I've sat in that gas station and waited for a pizza before, and I was just never again. So,
one time. I went there one
I can't
time.
wait for all these people from these places like California and Florida to get here and be come to Louisiana, that specific part of Louisiana, and be
yeah, exactly. Welcome to Louisiana.
Can I get an Uber to a hotel? And I'm I don't know, give it a fucking shot, maybe.
You're about to find out.
I've already told people, I was that's not my problem. I was once you guys get here, I'm going to be focusing on this.
Yep.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. Here's the invitation. Here's the date. You've got to get your own hotel and you got to get your own transportation. Yep. Absolutely.
Because there's some people that are getting here early, earlier on in the week, and they're should I get a hotel closer to you guys or this or that? And I was it's really up to you. If you get a hotel here in Texas, it's an hour drive to the place you're going to, and there are some people that you could possibly ride with in this area. Outside of that, if you stay here, plan to maybe possibly have to be driven out there, buy an Uber or something, because I will be getting to my parents' house earlier on in that week. I have the whole week off because I got to set stuff up and all that jazz. So it's I won't be at my house that long that week.
Right.
So.
Oh, it makes sense. I mean, be down there where all the action's at so you can get everything around. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited to get down there and celebrate your guys' day and then just kind of hang out for a week and just kind of chill and
it's always nice just to get together and just chill. And honestly, my vacation resets at the beginning of September, so I might take off. I'm definitely taking off the week of. I might take off a few days into the next week and everything, so I can just kind of chill.
Or you can decompress.
Yeah, but I've also got to make sure I save just enough for Renaissance Festival a couple months later. So
that's what we were talking about with the rocker chick. It's with taking that much time to go down there, we still have to save a couple days for at least one trip to Kansas City.
Yeah,
and it's okay. I mean, for me, it's a lot easier because I accumulate them every week or every other week. But with hers, it's like, here's your 2 weeks. This is what you get. Use it and how you use it.
When you're locked into fucking like a specific we say 2 weeks, but really it's just 10 days because they're counting your weekends are your weekends.
Yep, exactly.
So you're just like you gotta plan. And like I said, mine resets in September, and I'm gonna eat like 85% of them in September. And then just like gone.
Yep, exactly.
On the bright side, I work with my buddy now and everything. So like it is way more like if you need a day off, take a day off.
Right. Just take the day off. Yep. Yep.
So,
it'll be all right. It'll be fine. All right, man. Well, let's get into reviewing the month of April. Can you believe we are, now let me apologize to the listeners. You should have had this episode last Saturday. But I was down. I did something to my back, which turned into more. I just was sick. I mean, I slept for a very long time throughout those 3 days that I was off. I tried to push myself to go back to work on a Tuesday. I made it to like 11 o'clock. Then I looked at Lindsay and my coworker and I go, "Would you be pissed off at me if I just went home?" Because I mean, I could barely get out of the chair. She's like, "No, you look like shit. Go home." I'm like, okay.
I had my first like legitimate like back thing happen to me a couple weeks ago. To where I fucked up my back, and I know exactly when I fucked up my back.
Right.
How I did it. But like at the time that it happened, I felt like a twinge, and I was like, maybe I'm all right. Mm-hmm. And then by later that night, I was like this, and like normally I can make it work, but like I was trying to lay in our bed, and our bed's kind of squishy, and I was like, I looked at Kayla, and this is the first time we've been together for almost 6 years. That I was like, I'm gonna have to fucking sleep on the couch,
right?
Because like I had to fucking position myself just right. And I did that for, I think, 2 or 3 days until it bounced back. But this is the first time we hadn't slept in the same bed since we've been together. And it was because, like, my back was fucked. And ironically, every one of those nights, I watched Cheers. Because at the time that it happened, I had recently listened to your episode of that. And I was like, fuck him, Cheers isn't bad. So I put him
on. Listen, this one was different for me. Usually everything's my lower back. And, I hobble around and I stay on the heating pad for a couple of days. And then I hobble around and work itself back out. This one was all in my upper shoulder in my back area. And I have not had that, but, there was this one time you talk about, when you did it. And I was loading my 2-wheeler back into the back of my transit van. And I just leaned down and picked it up the wrong way. And it popped. I mean, it was like boom, and it's just shot of pain through you. And down on the asphalt, the parking lot that I went, and I sat there for a second, and I looked around. And I'm like, okay, who saw what? Who saw what? And luckily, as it popped, I threw the 2-wheeler back into the fucking van, so I didn't have to like try to re-pick it back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's that moment, and you try to work it out, and it's just no dice.
You're just like, I'm fucked, and it's only worse from here.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's horrible.
But anyways, gang, sorry we're a week behind on this. It is I was just totally exhausted, and I'd been out of work for 3 days, and I texted Logan. I'm like, hey, can we push it back a week? And he's like, yeah, no problem. So here we are. We're going to, I'm assuming that we're not going to actually talk about today's episode. We'll talk about it next month, right? Or at the end of May. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, here we are, getting ready to review April.
Yeah, I got to correct a note here because I got April 9th written twice. But that way I don't read it off here. A little behind the scenes here. April 2nd is the first one.
It is April 2nd, April 9th, April 16th, April 23rd. Fixed. But officially, though, April 30th was the last one. So,
do we have an episode on April 30th?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Yesterday was fucking April 30th. I'm like, we're in May, dog. Like,
it's all good. We'll save that one for the end of May. If we remember.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
All right. On April 2nd, episode 184, the rocker chick gave us a double feature. In the thick woods of Oregon, she explored the witch's castle from the 1850s. Not your everyday haunt. This one has its papers. No surprise this plot of land has its share of murder and deaths, leading to a plethora of haunts from spirits of the Bulch family and the murdered newlywed. That was interesting with the whole dad saying no, she's too young, and we'll get to that. But the newlyweds, orbs, generic forest noises, intellectual EVP responses, and phantom lights, and a full body apparition. Next, the House of Stone Faces in Spain, an event with a plot that could have been pulled directly from a movie. Plagued by phantom stains, Marie and her family started to see faces appear in the stains. As the fear spread, the city got involved, leading to an investigation that literally unearthed ancient corpses in the house.
Mm-hmm.
The dad shooting the now son-in-law in the stomach to death.
Right.
And then being hung near the same property as like telenovela type shit. Like, but the Stains one, the House of Stone Faces and everything was more appealing to me because that was wild. The fact that like the whole city got involved, the dude was pickaxing out his own floor,
right?
His shit wouldn't fuck off, and when the city's like, "No, you guys are freaking everybody out. We'll figure this out," and the city's like, "We're gonna demo this floor," and then they're like, "Oh well, we found a bunch of ancient ass bodies down here." So regardless if it was a hoax or not, led to the discovery of fucking bodies underneath these people's house, which makes me feel like it was authentic. Personally.
Did you look at the pictures of those faces in the snow?
I never looked at the pictures of the faces.
I looked at them while we were doing the episode. While the rocker chick was reading it, I was looking at them, and I'm like, you're looking at them, and you can distinctly see faces in these stones, and I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I would deal with that if you walk in one day and you're like, oh man, I love my marble floor, it looks amazing, and the next day there's a fucking eyeball looking at you, and you're like
that kind of looks like a face. And then you scrub it, and then it comes back, and then there's another one.
And
then your husband fucking tears up the floor, and then there's another one, and you're just like, it's time to go.
Yeah, it might be time to move out of this place.
It reminded me so much. The reason why I said it was like a movie is it reminded me so much of the plot of Poltergeist, because like it comes to the whole thing. It was like at the end where he's yelling, he was like, you moved the graves, but you didn't move the bodies, did you? And like his house was built on top of all those corpses. And that's why his house was being shitty, is because it was like, yeah, dog, your house was on top of my body. You disturbed my grave. And here this lady is being like, what the fuck's going on with my floor? And they're like, well, dog, we're tired of you walking over us every day, so could you get us the fuck out of here? I wonder if the city reimbursed them for their floor, though.
Oh, probably not.
That's the scariest thing.
Yeah.
They fucking tore your whole foundation out to fucking get in there. And once they found bodies, they're like, you guys are going to have to leave for a good while.
Yeah.
This is a historical thing now, so you're going to have to...
I don't know. It's just so it'd be so overwhelming, but it's just Do you suppose there was some sort of incident that happened, which in turn made those spirits start to come forward?
You got to figure it had to be something, because they lived there for how long?
Right.
And then all of a sudden the faces are showing up. Like, what did you do that pissed off the ghost enough to where they're like, that's enough?
Yeah, it's like, what, did you spill some goat's blood, or do you have a little too much to drink and broke out the makeshift Ouija board? What did you guys do exactly?
I fucking cooked something that was appalling to the spirit. Maybe walk around nude a little too much.
Lady, shave that beef, Jesus.
Yeah, sweet Jesus. Maybe somebody's in there having some unwed sex, and they're like, "That's not cool." I mean, there's no telling. But something clearly had to. Maybe they're doing the classic remodeling. But
that could be.
I wouldn't even say that wouldn't even make sense, because those bones outdated the house.
Right.
So it's not like the ghosts were like, hey, you're fucking up my house. The ghosts are like, yo, dog, your house is fucking up where I'm fucking resting, but they were fine until now. So
yeah, it was always funny that they just started to appear, and it's like, why did that happen? But the other part of that, the witch's castle, I went and looked at pictures of that, and that is an interesting, if you get a chance just to go look at just some of the images of the witch's castle, it's a very interesting piece of rubble basically now.
Yeah, now.
There's not a ton of it left, but it's a very unique piece of artwork in the middle of the forest out there, and all the crazy shit that goes with it, obviously, but just a beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful because
as beautiful as it can be, smelling like beer and piss.
Well, yeah, I mean, when a bunch of fucking homeless people live in the bunker, we got beer and I got to pee. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, and that touched, when you guys were talking about that, you guys touched on the like satanic panic and everything.
Yeah.
Well, because like that was huge in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
Everything was like the devil did it. I mean, legitimately, that was, I think, the 80s or 70s, where we literally had the case where the devil did it was like used in court. Like it was a case that Ed and Lorraine Warren were involved in.
Oh, right on.
And homie fucking murdered a guy and was like, no, I was possessed. And like they tried to like back him and like brought it to court and everything. So the 80s was just chocked full of the old satanic panic, which really was brought on by Dungeons and Dragons, is kind of what kicked it off. So
really, see, we actually had talked about doing the satanic panic in one of the Golden 80s episodes, and to be 100% honest, both me and Frankie were overwhelmed with everything involved in it, and so it was a last minute decision to step away from it, and I think we end up doing a What's Your Damage episode for where that one's supposed to be.
That would have to be like a multi-parter. Maybe save that for an October 1 month and just make it like Satanic Panic October. Like we're gonna touch on the different aspects of this and stuff. Because like I said, it's a lot of things that get encompassed under one title because it was just a huge movement. It's kind of like Tipper Gore type shit,
Yeah.
Somebody slapped a sticker on something and was like, this is it. And then all the other fucking uppity moms and everything and got all... It's happened. Every generation has a different version of it. I mean, my generation had Pokemon and Harry Potter were the devil.
Right.
And were a huge movement for that and everything. Like you had fucking evangelists, fucking preachers on TV being like, and then you catch the Pokemon in the ball just like Satan catches the children's souls, and they're like,
yeah, wasn't God, I remember when all that was boiling out because it was, it was quite the ordeal. Yeah,
every generation has its version of it. Like I said, you got your Tipper Gores, you got your fucking Satanic Panic, you got your Pokemon, your Harry Potters, etc., etc.
Yep. And then 2020s get you COVID.
Yep. COVID, your COVID shots, the mark of the devil, or or Satan sending the gays to turn you. Like there's. Everybody's got their own brand of stupid. It is what it is.
Yeah. You can't have one generation without it. I mean, come on.
No.
All right, let's move on.
All right, so that brings us on to April 9th. The crew had Dwight. Oh, I'm gonna fuck his last name up. Sneathen.
Yeah.
Sneathen. Aha, Sneathen.
Not
Bob.
Not Bob.
Listen.
Okay, let me clear something up. I call her Bob all the fucking time.
I've heard you when she was like, "He never calls me Bob." I instantly was like, "That's horse shit."
Yeah,
I lived with y'all. I hear be like, "Hey Bob, is there any Mountain Dew in the fridge?" Like I hear it. Like so, people be out there. She's full of shit.
Yeah. It was
he
like
calls her Bob.
I was like, but I do it. I mean, I literally do it all the time.
Yeah, she's like, he never calls me Bob. I'm like, you just don't realize he's calling you Bob, but he calls you Bob a lot.
It's true. It's very, very true. But, we were fortunate enough to meet Dwight for the first time when we went down to the Fowler. And super nice guy, man. Extremely intelligent, regardless of what I mean, he's extremely intelligent on his Fowler history and stuff. Like, I mean, he's a smart guy anyway, but I mean, he's extremely intelligent about all the Fowler back history. I mean, the town is his oyster. You know what I'm saying? It's like he knows everything about that town.
Yeah, because he's not just a paranormal investigator; he's essentially a historian for that whole area.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. 100%. And what they've done to the Fowler, from what it was when they first got a hold of it to what they've done to it today, is absolutely amazing. The place is gorgeous, man. I mean, old school, you know, it reminds you of the old theaters from the 70s and 80s, and it is beautiful, and he's a super nice guy.
Oh no, he seems delightful.
The one thing that I kind of regret is we did go ahead with that interview that night. Looking back on it, I probably should have gotten a hold of him and been like, "Hey, can we just move this a night over?"
That was the night you guys had a big storm coming in.
That's the night that J-Dub did not want to be out in it. 100%. The problem was I just confirmed with him like an hour before me and her had that conversation, and I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and go through with it. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, she kind of missed out on that episode. But looking back, you know, while we were recording with him, that major storm, and this is the storm that spawned the tornado that hit Bourbon.
Yeah.
A few hours later, was going right over top of his head, and you know, I'm like, maybe we should have made sure he was safe and not worried about doing this interview. But you know, he was a great sport, and he's like, nope, it's still rumbling upside, you know. And I'm like, all right. So, but we got a great interview with him. We learned new things. Maybe some stuff we didn't know when we were down there. And just getting to know him a little bit better. It was great. I loved every minute of it. So
yeah, and like I said, with him, like he runs. First of all, like theaters, like I don't know. I've never been to the Fowler. I'm kind of down in Southeast Texas and everything, but we have the Jefferson, which is our old ass movie theater. They will randomly show stuff like they'll be like, all right, we're gonna show Clerks now. We're gonna show this, and they're not running constantly. But, like, I mean, the Jefferson, and I can't, like I said, I can't speak with Fowler. The Jefferson is, like, a theater that, like, is, like, right when theaters, like, got created. I mean, this building has stone statues and your fancy seats and has the old equipment still in there. And some of it's off to the side just to be displayed. But I'm talking, like, projectors that are the size of a fucking Volkswagen plug.
Right.
They've got balconies up top. For people, like, this is where the rich people sit, and then the poor is set down there. This is how old the Jefferson is. The Jefferson has a fucking organ, a huge organ,
right?
That is on a fucking elevator right in front of the screen. That literally the organ would come up if needed for something, and then go back down. And like the people that preserve these like historical things are some of the best people, and he fought tooth and nail for the jail. Absolutely. And unfortunately, no matter how historic something is, if a city or a township wants to do something to it, it's more than likely going to happen. It doesn't matter how many people you have sign, how much proof you have. They're going to do what they want to do with their money, how they see fit, and that's not to take away from what he did, because it was a valiant attempt.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he
landed the way it did.
He examined every avenue he possibly could to try to save that place, and it really is too bad. And he even said it. You know, they tried to push it, mold and this and that. He goes, there's nothing in there. You know, they had their mind made up long before he showed up with. Yeah. So, unfortunately, sometime this summer, that big beautiful building is going to come rolling down, and I just feel fortunate that we were able to get in there to do an investigation. Thanks to Dwight and thanks to Brian, and before it got shut down and before they tore it down. So,
and I'm sure hopefully that he'll get a snag a few things from there before it goes the way that it is and everything.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I think he said something about they were already starting to find a place to put a lot of the stuff that's in there. I mean, there's a room in there. I was in this room where there is still stuff hanging on the walls of evidence of, from early on, we're talking, I don't even remember what year he said what it was built up, but I mean, we're talking about early stuff, early evidence, knives, guns, just some of the most craziest things that you'd have. There's like cases of beer and cartons of cigarettes and
with stuff like that, though, it really makes you wonder if like ghosts and spirits are real. Like, what the fuck happens there?
Right.
Like, when you tear it down to legitimately nothing, this place is going to be, if at all, the foundation, if they don't start completely new, is going to be torn down to nothing. Are the spirits there for the land? Are the spirits there? A lot of people think the spirits are attached to, like, stone, like porous stone and, like, stuff like that. Are the spirits moved with the debris? Do the spirits stay at the land? Some people believe that there's a boundary of where they died that they can't leave. Do they get a brand new building to haunt? Because that would be dope for a ghost.
Right.
You think about that, you're haunting the same shithole for fucking millennia, and all of a sudden you're in this brand new building, and you're like, what's this? What's up?
We got cable and we got cable and Wi-Fi. Look at this shit. There's
a show that me and Kayla watch called Ghost, and it's kind of like a comedy. And like they're in a house that up until this new chick moved in had no TV or anything, and all of a sudden she's got TV and stuff, and the ghosts are sitting on a couch watching fucking like Jersey Shore, and they're like, "This is amazing." Like a Viking ghost being like, "This is great."
It makes you wonder. I believe that probably that a lot of the haunting revolves around maybe some of the items and attachments. So maybe they'll just actually move with some of the stuff that goes or whatever.
Could you imagine though if it's like it is stuff and you're like one ghost is like, I'm attached to that knife, and that knife gets put in this museum. You're like, cool, I'm in a museum. This other ghost is like, well, I'm attached to this spot in the floor where I got stabbed to death, and that rubble gets thrown in a landfill, and you're just like, fuck.
Nobody comes out here. How am I going to spook anybody?
Not to mention, it's like, I'm attached to this fucking bit of floor, and they keep dumping trash here. Eventually, I'm going to be in the trash. Like, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Try to die somewhere cool, people, just in case.
You just never know. Never know.
Aim for a national monument, something that's just unfuckable. Like, like fucking go die at Disneyland. They ain't ever tearing down Disneyland. Go die in the Haunted Mansion or some shit. And fucking, you're good.
Yeah.
But if you die at a 7-Eleven, fucking good luck.
No.
Good luck.
This is Slurpees for life.
Yeah, fucking be like, oh, I ate shit at a fucking Popeyes and then it shut down and now it's a parking lot. Like, fuck.
I can't even get any good chicken anymore. Damn it.
Be like, oh man, well, I did die at a 7-Eleven, then they bulldozed it, now I'm in a place where they just fucking give enemas. A 24-hour enema place. They're like, oh, fuck, this sucks. I'm watching tubes go up people's butts all day long, and at first I was like, this is neat, and then, you can only see so many tubes go up butts before it stops being neat.
Well, but you can see them all. You get to see the waxed ones, the hairy ones,
I've seen all the
ones. I've seen them all.
And within a year's time, that's a lot of ass.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm just done. That leads us to episode on April 16th, episode 185. J-Dub took us to Nevada to the paranormal hotspot that is the Nevada State Prison. From riots, botched escapes, executions handed out via hanging, firing squads, gas chambers, and lethal injection, this prison's body count was through the roof, so it goes without saying that the paranormal events are consistent and strong, boasting everything from prankster shower ghost, womanizing inmate phantoms, and full-body phantom forms. The works.
The works.
The ghost that allegedly died in the shower, being labeled the prankster ghost because he pokes you and everything. I don't think it's as funny as people thinks it is. People are like, "Oh, the ghost shower's poking me." But like, what is he poking you with?
Yeah. Exactly.
And how do you think that he left this world? Because I imagine it wasn't great. So
naked and afraid, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's not as ha-ha as you think it is.
Well, maybe for him.
Yeah, maybe he's like, I touched you with my dick. And they're like, oh, that prankster ghost poked me with his finger again. It was like, do you guys ever stop to think that the fucking finger keeps poking you below the belt? Almost like he's not poking you with the fucking finger.
Why does my hand keep going like this?
Like, oh, the prankster ghost poked me. It's so funny. Why does it smell musty in here?
Yeah.
It smells like Dial soap and dick.
I got nothing.
Yeah. Hey, listen, prisons, man. We've been there. We talked about it. There is your like ghost. I'm a believer in ghosts. Some people aren't, but if ghosts are real, you got the big ones. There's always gonna be ghosts at hospitals.
Right.
There's gonna be ghosts at Busey farms, where they put all the nut bars.
Mm-hmm.
You got your prisons, abso-fucking-lutely. Seemingly schools and churches. Hotels too. We can't leave hotels off.
Right. Oh,
hotels
man.
Either. Yeah. You can't. You definitely. I feel like the big three for sure are nut bars, prisons, and I just fucking.
You just said it. You just said it. You just said hospitals.
Hospitals. There you go. Those are the main three. That's the holy trinity of fucking. There's gonna be fucking ghost.
Well, I mean, hospitals is the obvious because you do have so many people that do die in those buildings.
And those deaths range from peaceful to absolutely fucking not peaceful. So you've got like a plethora.
Exactly. I think that you have more paranormal stuff in prisons because of the evil that the prisoners and all of them. I mean, even the evil energy what's the word I'm looking for? That it just brings, from all those people doing things that are not supposed to be doing.
Well, yeah, you got people that did crimes in general,
right?
Ranging from like stupid little shit to massive shit, but on top of that, you got the shit that the crimes they're committing whilst in there.
Right, exactly.
From stabbing, beatings, other horrible fucking things that include showers.
I would not make it. I would not make it in prison. I'm gonna keep my nose clean, please. Yes.
Yeah. And on top of that, you also have like guards that are doing bad things too, and just like the negativity alone. Just with people being like, I'm stuck here for life, or I'm stuck here for 3 years. On top of, like we said in this one, we had a massive escape try to happen, guards being murdered, prisoners being executed in all sorts of shapes and forms, botched hangings. And this prison was known for having the most amount of people executed in the state of Nevada.
Right.
So like it's just fucking loaded up with it. Now it's no squirrel cage or whatever the fuck that one was, that rotating fucking nightmare. But it's
listen, the evolution of execution in Nevada State Prison was, I think, the best part of that entire story. It's like we started off with this, and then we're like, well, hanging is not so humane. Let's do a firing squad. And then you're like, well, maybe that isn't necessarily the most humane.
I don't know if it was ever a question about humane. They're like, what's more time efficient? Because they're like, we fucking hung Tim the other day, and he had a really fat fucking neck. And he swung around for like 30 fucking minutes.
Right.
And we're standing out here in the sun. And we've got 30 more hangings to go.
Yeah, right.
And then the gun one, it was like fucking, we shot him and we fucked that one up. And then like that took longer and the cleanup's not great with that one. So move on from that.
Worried about cleanup.
And then we do gas, which gas ones have been botched multiple times.
Right.
And they're like, oh man, we didn't have enough of the certain mixture, so all we really did was hospitalize them. So that's fucked. And then lethal injection, they're like, it kind of works, but we can fuck that one up too. So I really feel like the bullet's the best route to fucking go there, guys.
Going back to some of the old stories of the firing squad that I remember growing up is that, you had 10 guys standing there with guns, but only one of them had a bullet, so that they would not, there wouldn't be any guilt that they killed somebody.
And that's after a certain era, because there's a good chunk of era where it was literally just one guy with a gun, and he just walked up to you and fucking
and just knocked you out. Yeah,
and that was his job, and he was like,
"Yeah, I can
all
handle
right, that's
this.
inmate number 13. How many more we got today?" I'm like, two more, and then it's lunch.
No,
like, fucking
what are we having today?
It's sloppy
chicken?
Joes.
No, sloppy Joe.
Let's pivot. Let's pivot from sloppy Joe. Let's pivot.
We just shot 3 Joes.
Yeah, let's go
let's
salad.
not have that.
Let's go salad. Salad's good.
No Caesar for me.
Yeah, that's fucking just fucking peanut butter and jelly is fine. Hold the jelly. Just peanut butter sandwich. Peanut butter sandwich is good.
God damn it! I'm not eating. I'm just going home.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm clocking out.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the evolution of their execution, I thought was a really, really cool, interesting portion of that story.
I don't think I don't think in the episode, I don't think they ever said anything about the electric chair over there.
No, I was sitting there thinking about it too. I don't remember that ever being brought up.
Is it too dry in Nevada? Or are they like, it's not practical?
No, we're afraid we're going to set something on fire.
Yeah, no, they're like, listen, it's dry here. There's a lot of brush. Like,
right.
I don't want to start a convict-related fire. Like,
yeah, exactly. Although that would clean up a half of the inmates.
Yeah, but you got murderers and then you got tax evasion over here. Like, maybe one of them doesn't deserve to burn alive. So.
True that.
It was interesting. It's one of those ones where like the history was really interesting to hear J-Dub break down. On the route to getting to the haunting, it was interesting to learn about the history of it, all the different things that happened in the prison and whatnot. But I think that wraps it up for episode 185. That brings us to last but not least in April. On the 23rd, Golden J took us down Route 66 from Chicago to Springfield. As we drove by multiple haunts, some of the spots we checked out was Resurrection Mary, Murder Castle by H.H. Holmes, which you guys were talking about what happened in the Murder Castle. It wasn't torn down. It was actually burnt down.
Okay.
And is now the spot of a post office.
Oh.
If I don't touch on this, fucking Lance might write me an angry email. Yeah. But I feel like his case alone is Murd Nerds Central.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did the original Murd Nerds touch on H.H. Holmes? I didn't think so.
Not that I remember.
You guys stayed inside Indiana. That's right. So you did
for a while. Then they spread out to United States.
There is some info on some haunting stuff, and that's interesting. But like the murder alone was wild because this dude had such a huge criminal history. But when he built that house, he built trap doors. He built secret passageways, vaults, to where some of the ways he would kill some people would be with like acidic fumes and stuff. And when they broke into that place and found out everything, they found human footprints in the doors and stuff from acid being on their foots and them kicking the door, so it was burning into the metal.
Really?
Like, it is wild. The dude was a nutbag. That house, he legitimately hired and fired and killed so many different like masonry people and carpenters and all that, so nobody really knew the true shape form of this fucking house, because he'd hire this guy for a couple months, be like, you're fired, I'm tired of you. And that guy built a secret passage here. Next guy moves in, has no idea that that's in that room he's working on. And he builds this and builds a secret passage here. And he's like, I'm tired of that. You're gone. Or and then this guy I didn't pay, so I'm going to fucking kill him, stuff him in the room he didn't know about, and I'm going to keep building. So it's a really interesting fucking case. But unfortunately I say unfortunately, I'm sorry. But it's a fucking horrible place. But it burned down, and now it's a post office.
And now it's a post office. Listen, Oh, see, the original idea for me when I thought of this is that I was going to do 4 episodes and just go from Chicago to Springfield, from Springfield to Oklahoma City, or whatever the case may be. As I started digging into this, and I realized how much paranormal is actually on Route 66.
Oh yeah, it's it's loaded.
I have pivoted, and I will, and the plan is, and I've kind of discussed this a little bit, just so J-Dub and the Rocker Chick know. I am going to start a Saturday series of Route 66. So
Nice.
the Saturdays that we don't do the other side, the other 3 Saturdays a month, I'm just going to start in Chicago and work my way to Santa Monica.
See, that's so fun fact about this whole thing. The Supernatural, the show that everybody knows and everything, which ironically had an episode about H.H. Holmes.
Right on.
Was originally, Kripke, the guy that wrote it, was originally about a fucking journalist traveling down Route 66 and encountering stuff all throughout the fucking route. And the whole reason he was there is because he was writing stories on all these things. That was the original plot to Supernatural before it became what it became.
I have been, the last couple days have been a major deep dive of everything and trying to piece together how I'm gonna put it together, and where I'm starting, and finding that exact spot to start, which I believe is Adams and Michigan Avenue in Chicago, is where Route 66 starts, and then a block south is the hotel. Now I can't think of the name of it. And like I said, I was just reading on it earlier today, and I can't think of the name of it. But we're going to start there, and I mean, I think that we'll end up spending 10 episodes just in Alton, Illinois alone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, they're not going to be hour-long episodes. Then maybe 20 to 30 minute episodes. They're not going to be super long, but we're going to take that Route 66 trek and just start rolling down. As soon as I get it all put together, we're going to get that thing started.
Nice. I think that's a good idea. And if you ever need a road trip, buddy, just let me know.
I'll give you a shout.
But yeah, it's like you said, you covered. I've got it written down here. You covered, like I said, everything from where were my notes? From Resurrection Married, the Murder Castle, Alton, Illinois, with the haunts like Mick Pike Mansion, State Hospital. There was a church, a prison, school, hotel, even an art school.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Limp Mansion, which we covered.
Right.
And the last was the Ghost Light out there in Missouri. And that's just in a small stretch of it. Like all of these things can be looked into. There's so many more. It's a massive route that used to be literally the lifeblood of the United States.
Right.
And then one day it just wasn't.
Right. I was actually, I'm trying to think where I was at. There's a section of it that, because, like I said, I was mapping it out and I'm looking at it. And there's just a section where it's not there. So I jumped on Google Maps and I dropped the little guy there, and he goes to this. He you go down the street, the street view, and you go down the road, and it just stops. Yeah. And you see this, you're looking, and there's a dirt turnaround, and there is some sort of dirt road that kind of goes that direction that I don't think anybody in their right mind would actually drive through to connect to it. What is it, like 20 miles away or something like that? But there's like a 20-mile section of this road that used to exist that is completely gone.
Just fucked because we stopped the moment it was not important. It stopped being funded.
Yep, exactly.
So, like, upkeep became literally rolled down to whatever town was attached to that section of road, and if they wanted to upkeep.
Right.
Because the government was like, nah, dog, you're not getting our money anymore. And ironically, the fucking Disney movie Cars summed it up so well.
Oh, absolutely.
Where they were like, oh, it's great. The highway's going to go through here. It's going to be amazing. And they just watched all these cars and essentially time just blow right past them because they're like, we're not going to stop there. We're on the highway. We're getting where we need to go. Mm-hmm. We don't have to stop at this little mom and pop's gas station or this little hotel or this or that. and it killed. When that happened, it killed that era.
Yep.
And it was the writing on the wall for all of that.
And it's really interesting too, and we'll touch on it as we road trip and we do this, but we probably won't spend a ton of time on them. But as we driving down these quote unquote ghost towns, that used to be like you said, like what was it? Radiator Springs, I think is the name of that town. It used to be the hustle and bustle, and now it's just run down buildings that nothing exists in anymore. And I think I've got a list of at least 10 along that used to be major stops on Route 66 that just pretty much no longer exist. There might be a one or two, because it's still an area that, there's electricity and water and all those things, and people are still doing things there, but it's more like somebody owns owns a mechanic shop that he takes his shit to, and that's where they work on it. But just things along that line. But as far as the businesses that are just vacant buildings along this fucking road, it's so insane crazy. And it gets me so excited to have point A and point B, and what are we going to find in between the two, and to try to make sure that I don't miss anything along the way. And I'm excited for it. So we're diving into it pretty deep at this moment.
Yeah, same. I say it's a very interesting thing, and I think that'll be a great addition to TUSOP. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But that was it for the month of April, except for yesterday's episode. Which yesterday's episode was? I'm still in yesterday's episode.
It is more haunted Utah. It's funny because we get into this, and the girls do their stories, and they'll contact me and be like, "Hey, has anybody done this, or have anybody done that?" And the rocker chick was into something, and she found this, and she brought the story, and I'm sitting there listening to it as we're recording it. And I'm like, Utah. And I don't remember any of these places, I never heard of any of these places she's talking about. And we finished it up, and I was editing it, and I go to look back, and I actually did a haunted Utah episode probably about 40 episodes ago or whatever. So that's why this one's called, that's why today's or yesterday's episode, More Haunted Utah. So, as we approach our 200th episode, that's a lot of places and a lot of different things we've covered. Yep. And of course, not only have we covered, I did like a haunted Indiana, I did a haunted Montana, we did haunted Utah. Plus we did the battle for the states, like Missouri and I can't think of the other one we did.
Y'all have done Louisiana episode.
Yes. So it's fun. It's fun to do those things, but now you're adding smaller stories inside of here. So sometimes you might miss something along the way, and you hope not to repeat it, but you might repeat it. So it is what it is. But 200 episodes, man, we're almost there, and I'm excited. Yesterday's was 187. Today's will be, what you're listening to right now is 188.
Yep.
So, but the Route 66 challenge won't happen until after the 200th episode.
200th episode, yep.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes, but that's sometime in June, I believe.
Think about
it. Wait. What? This is May. That's next month.
Yeah. It's right around the corner. Think about it. You before this all started, you didn't mess with the paranormal like whatsoever at all, really. And now you're going to be 200 episodes into having your own paranormal podcast, and have done ghost hunts, gone to paranormal conventions, talked to people that have real life experiences. Your boss has been on a haunted TV show.
Yep, has a 2 million view documentary on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's come a long way. It's come a long way since it got started back in the day.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every bit of it. I've enjoyed learning all of these things. And sometimes my ignorance shines through on a lot of the paranormal stuff. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert by any shape or form. So, and sometimes it shines through, but man, I'm learning with the listeners. I mean, that's why you listen to the show. You want to learn something maybe you didn't know, and of course, maybe you did want to learn what the proper pronunciation of Mackinac is. So, you just never know. All right, man, get us out of here.
All right, folks. We're done with you for this segment. We're done.
We love you, though. We love you.
We're out of here. We're gonna go places. We're gonna do things and whatnot. Realistically, this is filmed on a weekday, so I'm gonna go to work in the morning. He's gonna go to work in the morning.
True.
You're listening to us on a Saturday, and I wish it was a Saturday, but it's not. It's a Thursday.
But it's close.
It's close. We're getting there. But I also work Saturday now, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
but,
sorry.
Listen, if you're not dreading the work week, but you are dreading what happens to you when you die, don't sweat it.
Nope.
You'll be all right. Because you got Golden J and me here waiting for you on the other side.
Later.
I still don't even know like what I do to get out of here. Like sometimes I go bye, sometimes I go fucking like I'm gone. See you later.
We're out.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the United States of Paranormal podcast. Check us out at UnitedStatesOfParanormal.com, where you can find our Spotlight of the Month, Fan of the Month, and all of our amazing merchandise. Or you can find us on social media at Facebook at the United States of Paranormal, Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and YouTube at the United States of Paranormal 1795. And don't forget, we are now on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/TUSOP.
Please check out the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs Fans, Golden 80s, The Gridiron Kings, Murd Nerds, and A Quart of Books and Booze, all of which can be found at goldenmojoent.com or wherever you stream your favorite podcasts.
And if you have a location or a story that you would like for us to check into, please email us at the United States of Paranormal at gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen. Thank you for all of your support. Bye.